labels. Easy Rewards presents the Customer Fest Show 2022. Gold partners Zendesk, Freshworks and TM.com. Silver partners Q Degree, Hunter Research and Channel Play.
The 15th edition of the Customer Fest Show was a two-day event that had lined up multiple tracks, close to 100 plus speakers that contributed through their experience across keynotes, masterclasses and leadership panel sessions.
Now, when we take a look, at more than a decade ago at least, customer experience never really saw the light in business strategies or for that matter priorities. And cut to today, fast forward 10 years, here we are actually discussing some of the most crucial and challenging strategies that can easily determine the success or failure of a business in the coming years. So business leaders now recognize that happy, or for that matter engaged and loyal customers bring continued success to the bottom line, and the reverse can also have adverse effect on the business.
The event kicked off with an auspicious lamp lighting ceremony, which was followed by the launch of Zen, a comprehensive set of best-in-class integrated solutions, all powered by customer data platform. The event began with a leadership keynote panel discussion on the theme Rules of Customer Centricity, decoding how customer behavior and loyalty has evolved in the new normal.
Manish, maybe your thoughts, when we look at the sort of a customer journey, right? Last 2-3 years, it has changed for the better and so fast, from purchase to, from discovery to purchase to after sales, everything has changed. So amid these changes, what are the key highlights according to you, and how companies have kind of synced up to these changes?
See, basically, when I look at it the typical consumer journeys that we were accustomed to in terms of saying discovery and then research and then deciding on the channel of purchase and then all those sort of things. Effectively what has happened is that it's all in the minds now, the consumer is behaving very, very differently. Today, all those channels are there in our minds. The consumer is not looking at it that I have to buy, discover from this channel and buy from another channel. It's more here and now. I think from a consumer perspective, it's all about, how I term it as hybrid shopping.
Creating empathy at scale, right? When you are, say, a small player, it's easier to have that connect with your customer. The question is, when you go from, say, being a startup to a unicorn to a decacorn, and you grow big exponentially within a short span of time, you still need that human connect because that's what made you as a brand. So how do you create empathy at scale?
I think it's two parts. I think empathy, one is the cognitive part of empathy, right? So understanding my customer, understanding what makes them tick, what they're looking for, what are their pain points. That's the cognitive part, that's the understanding part. Then you get into the active part of empathy. What am I going to do about it, right? And how am I going to actually build that customer's journey so that at every touch point there is a way, whether it's technology enabled, whether it's human enabled, what are the points I can actually make their journey easier and also bring in that factor of delight.
Question is, how do you sort of harmonize CX when this happens? Because once the floodgates are open, brands need to think, I'm going to be spread across different areas, different geographies. Your thoughts on that? How do you kind of harmonize CX between tier 1, tier 2 metro cities and tier 3, tier 4 towns and rural areas? How does that happen in your opinion?
What we do is we provide the rails, and actually let me not use the word rails. If you look at an example of a good roadway, the roadway needs to take the pedestrian, it needs to have something for the cyclist, it needs to have something for the cars, the sedans, it needs to allow SUVs, and there would be roadways where it needs to accommodate the large lorries and so on and so forth. So our job is really to design the roadways and then leave it to the industry to create whatever vehicle that they need to be running on it. So designing this roadway infrastructure in a way that we call context-free. So you don't really micro-design for the last mile experience, but you create all the possibilities you try to think through all the scenarios, all the consumers or customers that you're designing for, and provide all the options in such a way that industry players can come and build innovative solutions on it.
So in the new normal, I think the unified data view plays a very big role, and that's where we have our customer data platform, which leverages managing interactions and not just transactions that customers do across different channels, and draws meaningful insights, purposeful insights to help the brand leverage this interaction and convert it into a delightful experience on how they go back to brands and make a very relevant connection.
So post-COVID world has changed the way we have been interacting with brands and the expectation from the consumers as well, right? So it's time we rethink and change our communication or interactions from the historical channels that we had for email or SMS to the newer channels like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook messaging, or Apple Business Chat.
It all depends on the complexity of the questions that is posed to the customer support team. Even today, there are a lot of companies who are doing the automation. One such company I can name is PhonePe, who have literally, by using Freshworks platform, have automated 80% of their queries. But will there ever be zero intervention or 100% of the automation? I don't think it's even possible.
Easy Rewards presents the Customer Fest Show 2022. Gold partners Zendesk, Freshworks and TM.com. Silver partners Q Degree, Hunter Research and Channel Play. Conceived and managed by Kamikaze B2B Media. Easy Rewards presents the Customer Fest Show 2022. Gold partners Zendesk, Freshworks and TM.com. Silver partners Q Degree, Hunter Research and Channel Play.
With over 4 tracks and close to 110 speakers at the 2-day event of the Customer Fest, interesting topics and conversations were at every nook and corner. One of the standout sessions had panelists focusing on the theme, fresh insights for customer strategies, which reflect customer expectations, drive customer-centric cultures, leverage metrics and analytics for meaningful customer experiences.
My first question, Prakash, to you is that how has customer experience and behavior impacted in the last couple of years?
So the whole point of segmenting the customers is something that got ingrained way back when you're looking at different segments across streams. So the first task has always been as to which segment are we talking about, and that's the whole process we started when we picked up a very unique way of getting the organization aligned to it, which is customer journeys. And when we started doing customer journeys, the first question was which set of customer are you talking about? And amongst that, the next question was how to involve the entire organization in the customer experience. Now, earlier customer experience used to be very marketing driven. The whole experience that we have brought about to our group, and I'm sure everyone has also, is how does IT, how does HR, how do logistics, R&D, some of those functions who've never interacted with customers, how do we bring them to the table there? And a little bit sales and marketing have always sort of guarded the customer very, very carefully and not allowed them to come to the and the other functions also played it very easy, saying why should I bother, the sales and marketing guys are working on it.
So what has happened pre-pandemic and post-pandemic and during the pandemic is it is ultimately you're managing customers, you're managing people, and specifically in a banking industry where it is about money, it is about security, it is about the trust that you are able to create. When pandemic struck, it was not that anybody of us had a previous experience, right? The first wave, 2020, and hence it was completely new for all of us, completely new for customers. It was very, very important to ensure that customer is taken care of. We probably had a great tool, us being a digital bank, so that played to our advantage. Having said that, we have our traditional channels of contact centers and so on and so forth and everything, and hence it was also extremely important for us to ensure that we go back and we stay connected. So in a matter of flat 13 days, we had all our contact center, everything managed back at home, so that you are able to go back and manage the business as usual.
We all done digitalization, we all have mobile apps, we all have websites. We also want to automate using artificial intelligence bot. What is your approach? Do you want to go all in, or you have a different approach, like balanced approach? I want to have both. What is your thoughts, and I want to understand your views on that.
I think tech, we all understand, is a base level enabler in anything that we do, right? Leave aside the jargons of AI, bots. The latest for this year is metaverse, right? We all have got into that now. I'm saying at the core, is it solving a problem? If it does solve a problem, then please go. If that solution solves the problem for you, great. For example, and if I take SRL Labs for example, right, as an example, one side reduce walk-ins, the other side increase online. Why not? Because then the cost of acquisition or cost of delivery is that much lower and widespread, right? So great. Of course you should. I'm also seeing, in fact, if you look at most of the AI-enabled either chatbots or on WhatsApp, that's enabled on WhatsApp, it's at the end just making it that much more convenient for transactions to be dealt with without a human interface. And I think that's perfectly all right.
Followed by another panel discussion that stood out was that focused on building, designing, executing and monetizing your customer experience strategy in an ROI world.
Help me to understand it, help us to understand what kind of customer experience strategies which you've been working in the last 2 years or maybe earlier, which have actually made your defining moment, which have actually differentiated you in the market.
Last 2 years, if you ask me, the world has been very different. Things came to stop in 2020, and the biggest challenge which many of us had was our business continuity. And the challenge we had was, how do we go and serve our customers? I mean, it was a pain for the customers where we were not able to serve them because of the limitation of travel, because of the lockdown situation the pandemic caused. And you know, every problem actually comes with an opportunity, and that's what we looked at. We went with, coming up with a strategy where we can actually go and serve the customer. We enabled our services in terms of serving customers at home and virtually as well. We invested a lot in tools where we could actually serve our customers without even getting to them, and there was like remote capabilities were invested a lot.
What has been your experience as far as customer experience strategy is concerned in the Tata AIG space? Maybe if you can throw some light on that.
Starting with first deciding the strategy. When it came to strategy, the other aspect was what themes are we looking at as an organization, where all the business processes, all the business functions, the respective heads, would be presenting their own individual themes, which would revolve around the customer. For us, the customers would just not be our internal customers. I mean, not just the external customers, but even our internal customers. So it took us good 8 to 9 months to finalize the themes around, how should our customer experience framework look like in the coming 5 to 10 years. And once we had that, it was very important that, along with just people being at the same page, it's important that the business processes, also were interlinked in a value chain.
I think in the post-pandemic world, what has really become important is how easy is it for the customer to go through the entire experience. And when we say their experience, this is through the journey, across the journey, how easily they can get their queries resolved, how easily they can get an activity done by the company has become the key differentiator. So what is the level of support that the company ends up providing to get a solution to the customer has become the crux and the key differentiator today.
The biggest strength that I am quite excited about is the whole shifting of interaction into digital world. Most of the companies are now investing in digital way of omnichannel experience. They want it not only to be seamless but also personalized. One of the biggest improvement or enhancement that I am seeing from a company point of view, a large set of volumes will move towards digital engagement, which will also
be more efficient, and it will also ensure that large number of data are available for them to analyze customer behavior and preempt what customer is looking for, so that you can give a proactive customer delivery.
Easy Rewards presents the Customer Fest Show 2022. Gold partners Zendesk, Freshworks and TM.com. Silver partners Q Degree, Hunter Research and Channel Play. Conceived and managed by Kamikaze B2B Media. Zendesk presents the Customer Fest Awards 2022.
After an incredible day of discussions and thought-provoking dialogues, the evening ended with the 15th edition of industry's most awaited awards night, felicitating companies who have excelled over the past year in their endeavor to achieve customer excellence.
So with that, what we're going to do is get started with the first set of awards. And to do the honors, once again, if I may please invite Mr. Vasudev Rao from Zendesk, and if I may please invite Harish Bhatia to please come on stage. Alrighty, so very quickly, let's start with the very first category for the evening. This is category Best Customer Experience in B2C Sector. Well, it's time to find out the winner as well. Here we go.
And the winner is Eureka Forbes Limited.
Our next category for the evening, Best Customer Experience in Services Sector. Time to find out the winner. Here we go.
Apollo Hospitals Enterprise Limited.
Next category is Best Use of Innovation in Loyalty Marketing.
We have joint winners. The first one is Motherhood Delights from Motherhood Hospitals. The second winner is Pariwear Utsav Roka Bathroom Products Private Limited.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next category is Best Use of Customer and Data Analytics in a Loyalty Program.
Levi Strauss.
And now we're talking about the Best CRM Program.
Who else? Titan.
Congratulations to the entire team. And with that, let's now find out Best Use of Innovation to Enhance Customer Experience.
HP India Sales Private Limited.
While we talk about the best use of innovation to enhance customer experience, in fact, it's a tie. So let's also find out the next winner in this category.
Ambuja Kavach by Ambuja Cements Limited.
The next two categories, in fact, are being presented by Easy Rewards. So if I may please invite on stage none other than Tapan Karakia, who's the director and co-founder of Easy Rewards, to please come on stage. And if I may also please invite Mr. Angad, the CFO and co-founder of Easy Rewards, to please come on stage. And can we have a huge round of applause to welcome them as well, indeed. Well, as I mentioned, the next two categories, in fact, are being presented by Easy Rewards. So let's get started with the very first category, which is Best Loyalty Program in Retail Sector, Large Multi-Brand Format.
The winner is Shoppers Stop Limited.
Time to find out the winner for the best loyalty program in B2B sector.
The winner is Privilege Club Loyalty Program, Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC Limited.
And before we move on to the next set of the awards, let me also please invite on stage Nitin Jagdish, Senior Director, Enterprise India and SARC, Zendesk, along with Archana Lokesh, Head Business Development India and SARC, Zendesk, to please come on stage. On that note, let's also announce the next category. This is the Best Contactless Service Experience. The next category for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Best Customer Service Initiative.
The winner is Max Life Insurance.
Let's also move on to the next category, which is Best Use of Technology to Enhance Customer Experience.
And the winner is SBI General Insurance.
So to do the honors, once again, I'm going to invite on stage Mr. Vasudev Rao from Zendesk, along with Mr. Harish Bhatia. Let's have you both again on stage. It's time for the final set of the awards here. Let's move on to the next, which is Champion of Champions Loyalty Program of the Year.
And the winner is Bata India Limited.
Our next category is all about best use of conversational bot or tool in order to enhance customer experience.
Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance.
And with that, our next category is best use of training in a contact center.
Standard Chartered India Client Care Center.
Now I'm going to use my voice to announce for the next category, which is best use of voice of customer. Time to find out the winner.
And the winner is Tata Click.
We did mention that we have joint winners in this category, and the joint winner is.
And the joint winner is Tata Motors Limited.
Well, up next, best promotional shopper marketing campaign.
Khushiyon Ka Weekend, D2H, Dish TV.
We're almost inching closer towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, so let's quickly find out the winner for Most Innovative Technology Initiative of the Year.
ICICI Lombard.
And with that, our next category is Best Customer-Centric Company.
DBS Bank India Limited.
With that, the day came to an end. But one thing that the attendees ensured not to miss out or bear the companies who set up stalls and showcase their services in the exhibition area.
Easy Rewards presents the Customer Fest Show 2022. Gold partners Zendesk, Freshworks and TM.com. Silver partners Q Degree, Hunter Research and Channel Play. Conceived and managed by Kamikaze B2B Media. Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.